Hello, this is Deborah Anderson, the Black Woman Animator, coming back to you with another video. And this video is about how I have never tried so hard to give away my time for free. Since moving to New Orleans, a way that I've used to make friends is to get involved, volunteer, and attend various social events. Since I was not initially able to afford being active in my sorority, I opted to join a local young professionals group and try a bunch of various other things. I am not sure if there is anyone who has tried as hard as I have over the past 10 plus years to give away their time for free, and I didn't know it would be this hard. And this is why at this point I give away my time for money. Because when I tell people in New Orleans about my experiences, they look at me like I'm crazy. Because I guess it's easier for everyone else but me. So one situation, I was attending a church and I was attempting to join their graphics ministry. So initially I got one of the volunteer cards, and this is when they were at their old location. I filled out the volunteer card and gave it to someone to let them know that I was interested in joining I think it was called maybe technology and graphics team or ministry. And so I initially filled out that card and gave it to somebody. And then maybe a few weeks later, one of the guys on the praise team had to make an announcement or something, and he mentioned that he was on the graphics team. So I also approached him and told him I was interested in joining the graphics team. Fast forward, the church moved to another location. So then I allow them to get settled and all this stuff. And I really don't know what other things that I did, but a year later, I was able to finally get on the graphics team ministry. So I finally started going to meetings, and then they pigeonhole me because I tell them about my experience in animation, but I also tell them that it's nearly impossible to do any animation projects, at least that they thought of, with only one person. So I let them know that they could give me graphics projects or flyers to do or something like that. They never gave me anything to do. So I just gave up. And in the midst of this year that I was waiting to get on the graphics team, I at some point joined the prison ministry, and there was a coalition of churches that were meeting, and I went to the pastor and told him I would be willing to lead the prison ministry if we could do what because the coalition was about to go into a different phase. So I approached the pastor and was like, I will lead the prison ministry if we can do this thing that they're doing. And he told me that he would rather start his own thing. And I'm like, I ain't signing up for that. If I could jump on their thing, I'll lead it. But if we've got to start it from scratch, nah, bruh, I'm good. So then I guess I dropped the prison ministry and then finally ended up on the graphics team ministry. But that was a whole year of fighting to get on a ministry at church. So another time, I volunteered for a nonprofit that dealt with student athletes. They would take time to tutor them after school, help them do their homework, and then teach them basketball skills. So I signed up for the basketball skills portion to be a coach. No matter how many times I told the main coach that I was a full-grown adult and not a student, it didn't matter. Plus, it was that thing I deal with when I go play basketball where they didn't kind of respect me as a basketball player, like him and the other coaches, that I could actually teach these middle schoolers some basketball skills. So I had to deal with that, and then he kept thinking I was a student. So the straw that broke the camel's back was that I volunteered to go on Wednesdays, and so one Wednesday I go and everything's locked up, nobody's there. So I reach out to the main coach and ask him like what's going on, and he's like, oh yeah, I thought you were a student, so I thought you would be going back home after school's out, so I didn't think to tell you that we didn't have practice today. And I'm just like, I was just like, you don't respect me enough to remember the multiple times that I told you that I am a full-grown adult with a job. And so because of that disrespect that I felt, I just quit. Because I'm like, there is no point in like trying to volunteer with an organization that doesn't have the care to make sure they remember what you've told them several times. So that was another thing. Additionally, there have been several times where I felt I literally had to beg people to allow me to mentor their child in animation, or if they are college age, I'll get a dialogue started, email them back and forth, try to provide motivation and whatnot, but then it eventually dies off because sometimes it's hard for me to continue a relationship if it's very one-sided. So like if you're not interested in it, then I'll just drop off and leave it at that. Most recently, I met a social media person and told them that I'll be interested in mentoring their child in animation. They were very excited. I gave them my card. They gave me their email address, told me to email them. I emailed them 3 times, and I even emailed their significant other. No response. And it's one thing if I like randomly found your email, or if you mention your email on social media and I just randomly emailed you and got no response. That's one thing, but you asked me to email you. And so I just don't like the unprofessionalism of people where they don't have the decency to at least respond, and maybe I jumped the gun too much, or we've pivoted and we're not gonna want to use you or something like that. Like if we've had a conversation and you know I'm reaching out to you, at least have the decency to do that. I don't like when people do that, because I do randomly email people, but I don't get offended if you don't respond, because I'm just randomly emailing you and just taking a chance. But when you tell me to email you, at least respond, even if it's like a negative outcome of, oh, well, we don't want you to mentor our child. Just let me know. So it's just like crazy that I have to deal with all of this. And I remember I attended a conference in Memphis several years ago, and there was this woman who was the speaker, and at some point she mentioned I would extend the offer to mentor everyone in this room. And she was like, and you know why? Because none of you would take me up on my offer. And I don't know if I understood what she meant on that day, but I viscerally know what she meant today. Because like, it's like pulling teeth trying to help people. And that's why I've kind of transferred my energy into this YouTube channel, so that people can just opt in. If you want to subscribe, if you want to watch my videos, you can. And I'm putting out this energy, and it's not wasted, because eventually somebody will land on a video that they find interest in, and it will help them. And I've seen the fruits of that. I've seen people in Instagram comments and on Facebook and stuff saying how certain videos have helped them. But goodness glaciers, like why does it have to be this hard? So at this point, I think I'm being beat over the head with a sign that I should use my time in more beneficial ways, whether that's financially or just as a catalyst for my career. So I am taking the hint and trying to pivot and use my energy for things that will benefit me in the long run. Because trying to give away my time for free has not been the it thing. And I think 10 plus years is enough research to determine this. But I mean, if anybody wants to reach out to me for mentoring, feel free. But I don't think I'll be actively trying to like ask people if they want me to be their mentor. So if you have any comments or questions about anything I talked about in this video, let me know in the comments. Please like, subscribe, sign up for post notifications, share my video, and I will see you in the next video.